I'm Pepper Crutcher of Balch and Bingham LLP, General Counsel to the Mississippi Manufacturers Association.
I'm John Milner with Brunini, Grantham, and Hewes law firm, MMA Environmental Counsel.
John, why don't you tell us the story of the fisherman who took on the government and won in Loper Bright?
Thank you. Yeah, that's always good to understand the facts of a case. We hear all of these decisions by the courts, but we don't really focus on the facts, and this is a good one. The bottom line on the Loper Bright case was Loper Bright was a group of herring fishermen in New Jersey. And they, of course, went out on their boats every day, developed their business from scratch, so they're small businessmen. And part of their business is regulated so that they are required by a federal act to have monitors on the fishing boats to make sure that the limits of catch and the types of catches are compliant with law. So for many of the categories of fishermen, the fishermen have to pay for their monitors, but the law did not require herring fishermen to have to pay for those. So ultimately, those were paid for by the federal government, but they ran out of money. And when they ran out of money, they passed a regulation to require the herring fishermen to pay for those monitors. And bottom line, the cost of the monitoring for those herring fishermen was about 20% of their entire revenue income. So it was worth it for the herring fishermen to contest the case, and that's exactly what they did, which led to their victory by the Supreme Court.
So without an act of Congress, a federal agency just decides by rulemaking that it can make a regulated business pay for the cost of its own regulation.
That's right, and the agency invoked Chevron deference to say, we've decided this is what it should be, and you don't have any right to contest our authority to do it.
And the crazy thing is, that was the law before Loper Bright, right? They would have won.
They would have won, and there wouldn't even have been an opportunity for the small fishermen to pay legal counsel to contest it. But when you're about to lose your business because of the cost of that regulation, they had no choice. They were backed into a corner, and thankfully they won.
And the Supreme Court said what?
Supreme Court said Chevron deference is overruled. So there is no longer deference to the agency. So the bottom line is the fishermen could contest through their presentation of evidence what the impacts will be. And that's exactly what any manufacturer or any businessman will be able to do so going forward.
So the Supreme Court did what any person who's not a lawyer would think courts would do. They looked at the law and said, the authority you're claiming, Mr. Regulator, we don't see it here, you lose, right?
That's right.
And that's new, and that's good.
It is.